Hey, what's up, people? This is Ike Love. I'm the creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights received along my path to becoming a greater version of myself. And if you want to go to the site, you can go in the description, click on description, and the link is there, www.theviablealternative.com. So today I want to talk to you about finding your purpose. And before I get into that, I just want to make a disclaimer. I want to say that I'm not some type of guru. I'm not a guru. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I certainly have a ways to go in my life. I'm a work in progress. So what the hell gives me the right to talk to you about something deep as your purpose? Well, again, I'm a person of my own path, and I've come to certain realizations that have helped me, and I choose to share them with you because I feel they'll be of help to you, as if I've heard this from me years ago, or if I was able to hear this from me years ago, it definitely would have helped me. So I choose to share this info with you. So, purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you here? Many people seem to be asking this question because they're frustrated. They want to know what the meaning of their lives are. They want to know what they were doing here. How do they fit in a bigger picture? And it seems to come into question in people's minds when they reach a certain level of enlightenment, or they reach a certain level of growth or maturity, or they even have come to a dead end in their life, and nothing seems to really fulfill them anymore. And so now they start to question the bigger picture of what they were put on earth for. And more power to you. This is when you really start to find fulfillment and really are able to tap into your gifts and resources that God has given to you. And this is where you will find a lot of the answers you're looking for into life. Anyway, what I found that the problem with most people is that they're waiting for some type of like mystical experience to find their purpose, like the clouds part and like an angel comes down with like a scroll and is like, John, you are meant to do this in this life. And it's not like that. Or you're like sitting under a tree, the equivalent of sitting under a tree and waiting an apple to fall on your head. Some people I know, I think that huge realization comes from doing cumulative steps first. There are only a few people I've heard that just from a young age knew what they were meant to do in life. I used to date this girl, and several years back, and she was a civil rights lawyer or human rights lawyer. I forgot what you call it. And if she's watching this, forgive me. I don't remember the name, but it was along those lines. And she told me from the time she was, I think 13 years old, either 13 or early high school, she just kind of knew that she was meant to be working in civil rights or human rights. Now she's a very successful lawyer. I think she actually appears on television and news programs, and she talks about certain pressing issues that are going on today. And then also you have people who have been through very extreme situations like war or poverty or extreme types of oppression, or been through some huge type of trauma or disease that they overcome. And due to those extreme factors, they were the momentum or the magnitude of those factors basically precipitated them into finding their purpose. It's kind of like the pressure was so great that the timing was found so relatively quickly. And but for most of us, I've learned it's a progressive realization. It's a progressive realization of taking action and exploring different aspects about who we are. So I have several steps listed in how you can find your purpose. Number one, I believe, is exploring your curiosity. What are you curious about? And it could be the most ridiculous thing, like the mating patterns of horses that live in Arizona. I mean, who the hell cares? The point of the matter is that you're curious about it. Who cares if I'm judging you or anybody else judging you? We're not paying your bills. But if you're curious about this one unique thing, or it could be something broad, you're curious about animals, or you have a curiosity about the culture in Russia, or Russian language, or whatever you're curious about, start to follow it, start to explore it, start to look into more, start to research it. And you'll find that some of your curiosities reach a dead end after a couple of weeks. You're not interested in anymore. But then in other cases, you follow those curiosities and it takes you to different areas and different twists and turns. You find something else you're curious about and something else and something else. And after a certain period of time, you have like this body of knowledge due to your complete exploration, your curiosity, that you're like, hey, I want to share this with the world. You become like an expert in this unique morphing of different curiosities that you have. And it's unique to you. and nobody else can replicate it. And you can use that and share that with the world, and the world will listen because it's something unique to you that they've never seen before. So that's number one. Follow your curiosities. Number two, what's that one talent you have, or that one thing you have, that quality that people are constantly complimenting on, but you take it for granted because it's so close to you. It's like you got it for free, and therefore you don't really take it seriously. You're like, that's nothing. That's a clue. I mean, you could have a great ability to write, have a great voice, or have a great sense of humor, or great style to dress. You could have great senses of interior design or decorating. You could have a strong green thumb. I mean, whatever the thing. You could be a great fighter, for goodness sake. You pick up fighting very easily, and be able to beat people's arses. But whatever the case may be, that is something you need to explore. And again, as you explore this talent and gift and you hone it, it begins to take a life of its own that reflects who you uniquely are. And after some time of honing it, it becomes such a unique form that only you can give it to the world. And you're going to want to share it with the world because it's a unique reflection of you. And you're so excited about it, you want to share it with the world at large. And again, the world is ready to receive it because they've never seen anything like it before. So again, don't ignore these things that people are talking about that to you or complimenting to you you that you take for granted. It's another clue into your purpose. Third, what are you passionate about? What do you complain about so much, and that you're so pissed off because nobody else seems to care? Well, my advice to you on that is that if you're pointing a finger at someone in the world, there's usually four fingers pointing right back at you. And what that basically means is that you were meant to do it. You're so passionate about it, nobody else seems to care about it as much as you do because God meant for you to solve that issue and that problem. So get to work. And the reason why that he gave it to you because he has full faith in you that you can accomplish it. He equipped you with it. That's why he equipped you with the tools to accomplishing or solving this problem. And that's why you're the one that seems to be making the most noise about it. So yeah, that's another clue into your purpose. That one thing that you're up in arms about that nobody else seems to care about. What is this? Number 4? 1, 2, 3. I think it's 4. Forgive me, I'm losing count. I mean, the point of the matter is you get my points. Number 4. What are things? I think it's a combination. What are things that you do that you just seem to like? Time just seems to fly when you do it. It could be like, again, gardening or doodling or drawing. I have a friend who used to be a graffiti writer, and he would just have this like a sketchbook, and he'd just be tooling away for hours at it. Just, he was so passionate about graffiti, he'd take like a bag and spray like the spray paint into the bag and sniff it because he just was so passionate about everything he had to do with graffiti. And, that was just something that he felt compelled to do, and time will fly when you do it. Even if he was illegally going to the subway tunnels and quote unquote bombing, as they call it, when you go graffiti writing, it was just something he was passionate about. The ideal thing was him to find a legal outlet for it, because he did get caught by the long arm of the law several times. But the point of the matter is like, what do you do? What things do you do when time just seems to fly by? Next thing, and it's kind of connected to this. What do you just seem naturally drawn to do? If you have free time in your hands, you're just drawn to do it. I have a friend in college. He used to, when it was uncool to go to the movies by yourself, this guy would go to the movies by yourself, and I would think to myself, wow, I could never do that. I mean, now, at my age now, I totally love going to movies by myself. I love spending time by myself. But back then, I was totally self-conscious, as other friends of ours were, about going to the movies ourselves. But this guy didn't care. He just enjoyed going to movies. He loved the whole movie making process. And even when we were in the dining halls having dinner, this guy would be in his own world reading the Entertainment Weekly magazine about the movie industry. And it's funny, several years after that, when he was getting his MBA, in the middle of his first year, he said, I realized I'm not going to be happy if I'm not in some way involved in the filmmaking process. And he changed his trajectory, and his focus became working on movies, whether in the behind the scenes or behind the scenes producing movies. And what happened along this path, several years after he graduated from his MBA program, he noticed how he always used to complain about movies and how they were made and how dissatisfied with them. So one day he just picked up a pen and decided to write his own screenplay. And that morphed into, years later now, he basically writes full time and is now hustling to sell his screenplays or get them picked up to be made. And it was just the root of it was him just taking note of things he just did on his free time naturally. And so yeah, that's another way. And lastly, and this is now connected to the first step. What are your talents? What are your talents? And I know, because some people aren't recognizable or don't recognize their talents because it's so close to them. Other people do know their talents, but they just don't think they'd be able to make a living out of it. So you get like they get like an unfulfilling 9-to-5 job, and in the meantime, their soul is yearning for them to go and actually take advantage of their natural talents and skills and abilities. For you, I'm saying now, if this is your natural talent and ability, start to explore it. And again, as you explore it, it'll take a life of its own to the point that you're not going to want to be in a 9-to-5 job anymore. You're going to be like healthy because all you want to do is pursue this talent. Or even if you stay with a 9-to-5 job, you'll give yourself enough time to really have an outlet or give an outlet to this talent that you have. So the lesson for all this is that the discovery of your purpose is a progressive realization by taking consistent action towards these things I labeled, to your curiosities, your passions, things you're naturally drawn to, your natural talents and abilities, and things that you feel predisposed to do without even thinking about it. You follow those, and a lot of these steps I listed, they're not like singular. They're not on their own. They're not mutually exclusive. A lot of them exist together. And if you follow these things, they morph into a life of its own. And that reflects a unique purpose you have in life that reflects you. I mean, we were all created by the Creator for a unique purpose. And He put His purpose in us so that we can give Him glory. And obviously, if we were to give Him glory, if you want anything to give you glory, you're going to make that thing shine so much so you make the Creator and the source look very good. I believe we have purpose in us made to give the Creator glory because we were created in His image. And it's natural for our purpose to just burst forth as we pursue it. It's a natural thing. It's as natural as us breathing because it's part of us. It's as part of us as much as, night is a part of day. You know what I mean? I can't think of a better example. But the point of the matter is that our purpose is so close to us and so part of us. It's what we were created to do. So all you need to really do is get out of your own way and allow the purpose to spring forth. And you do that by just listening to your heart, honoring yourself. I said in another video, honoring yourself, listen to the yearnings of your soul. And sure enough, the purpose will begin to make itself known to you. And then one day you can say, wow, I know what my purpose is. For me personally, I believe my purpose is to inspire and enlighten through my image, my words, spoken and written. And through my spirituality. That's what I know so far. And that was gotten from, again, exploring my own curiosities and taking heed to the things that people say that I do well and noticing how I affect people. That's what I have so far for myself. And that's what I seek to do. And, as time goes on more, I'll have more clarity in my own purpose. So anyway, I hope this all helps. So get out there, explore these things I left to you, and you'll be surprised not only about what you discover, just also how fulfilled you feel. Because even if you don't have your purpose yet, but if you're just following what you're naturally pre-designed to do, you're going to feel fulfillment because it is you that you're doing. So I hope this work helps. Please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And again, you can go on the site www.theviablealternative.com for more info about my own path. Take care, enjoy this day, and peace.